her Catherine. I've seen people
Yeah,
yell at me in the comments when I
yeah,
say, Kate,
right.
I'm reading a headline. I call her Catherine when I am talking about her. But get ready to get your knickers in a twist. Is
Uh,
that the saying? Uh,
uh, well, I don't tend to wear knickers, but I know what you mean. Okay,
all
so
right. So
but
it says,
that is the correct phrase. Yeah.
okay, perfect. One well placed source says among William's team, there's a belief that Harry and Meghan have positioned themselves.
Latest chatter from Kinsey Schofield and Robert Bell, who've been breaking down the recent royal happenings, Meghan Markle's Harper's Bazaar cover, and the ongoing saga of Harry and Meghan versus William and Catherine. Buckle up. It's a lot, but it's also kind of hilarious if you like your drama with a side of royal pomp. First off, let's talk about the royals actually doing their jobs. The Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine. According to Kinsey and Robert, Catherine was absolutely glowing at the Royal Variety performance in London. Honestly, when does she not look like a supermodel?
As a sort of alternative royal unit. The term sleeper cells is being used half jokingly, but the suspicion is very real. The idea is that they destabilize from afar, then step in when the pressure mounts, and that there is then a danger of Harry and Meghan launching fresh attacks on William and Catherine to further destabilize the monarchy. They are a toxic poison for the royal family and the biggest, most widespread fear at the moment. So they say that people inside the palace are fearful of Harry and Meghan. They will simply want to replace William and Catherine as the firm's senior figures if they return to the royal family. Harry's vanity and Meghan's ego will dictate that. They should be kept as far from the royals as possible. I want to say this is ludicrous, Rupert. But then you read in Harper's Bazaar that Meghan Markle wants to be announced in a room with cockroaches and not much else.
That made my blood boil because I thought America didn't actually believe in sort of titles and everything, and
We
she
don't.
needs to
It's
get
Meghan Markle that does.
yeah, she needs to get a life and not be so stuck up with self-deluded ideas like that. If it's all to be believed, and there's no reason to not. I mean, this OK article, what you're actually talking about is changing the constitution,
Yeah.
and it's just ridiculous. But the whole point of the Meghan and Harry split was is they didn't want to be the bit part players. They were deluded that they were the rock and roll pairing within the royal family, and they're just not. They would have been a very important support network for the main stars of the show. But the problem is, as we know, one half of that support network believed that she should have been the star of the show and didn't understand that, unfortunately, we have a constitution in this country, and it is the firstborn then ascends to the throne. It's now that's the way it works here. So even if they do come back, they will still be the bit part players. They'll be like the Princess Royal. They will be the support act.
No,
So it
they will
is.
not be like the Princess Royal because they do not have the work ethic of the. I know what you're saying, but
Hmm.
it's like they wouldn't be like her because at least you and I talk about her as often as we do because we see her. She is very visible and puts herself out there.
Um,
Well, I think Harry and Meghan, if they weren't getting what they wanted, would lock themselves away in a nice little uh, crown estate and not participate
uh,
because
well,
they're
they just want to do their own thing, and they think they should do it on their terms without the. It is an important role. The royal family have a role on behalf of the nation. It's not about the individuals. And this is the problem. Now, Harry and Meghan are creating huge problems for the royal family. The Andrew issue is creating huge problems for the royal family. So they have got major issues sort of coming at them, as well as trying to make sure that they are seen to be relevant. So that's why last week was a very important week to see what the Prince and Princess of Wales were doing, what they believe in, how they get out and about and can be seen to be connecting with the British public, but not, they don't have the opportunity to do it when they want. I mean,
and you know what?
sometimes
You're so right. Last week was such an important moment for the Prince and Princess of Wales. And guess who drops a trailer for her new
Ugh.
Netflix series and a brand new cover article.
The couple debuted a new coat of arms, Fancy, and were photographed with a musical version of Paddington Bear. Cute, right? But let's not get fooled. While it looks glamorous with flashbulbs and celebrities, it's still technically work for them. And to close it out with a little humor from Kinsey and Robert, cooking a turkey, managing a Christmas event, or hosting a breakfast station might not seem like royal duties, but they are part of the larger image.
Don't get, hang on. I'm not going early, right?
Okay.
Keep the
Okay,
lid on.
okay.
We gotta keep the lid on things.
Okay, all
But
right.
I mean,
Well, one of the reasons why I gave this article a little bit of thought, or I thought, is because some of it does ring true. For instance, a separate palace figure offered a blunt assessment saying the concern is the pattern. Harry drops in, causes a ripple, then disappears, and all the while keeps nibbling away at William and Catherine's standing. To many within the institution, it looks coordinated rather than accidental. That's just what we were talking about with a big week for the Prince and Princess of Wales. And here comes Meghan Markle's trailer and magazine. They said there's a huge fear Harry can't help himself and would be recording every conversation and needing as material for his second memoir or another Netflix series. So there are some legitimate statements in there that we can agree with, that Harry and Meghan, I don't know if they're trying to position themselves to replace William and Catherine, but it certainly feels like they're trying to compete with them a lot of the time.
There's no two ways about it. They want to upstage. It's the same. Here are the sort of comparisons. It's when Andrew was at the Duchess of Kent's funeral, what became the story. So whenever Meghan puts something out, it supersedes. And because of the notoriety, the eyeballs are then focused on that. She knows what she's doing. The negative, the fact is, it's like, oh, here she goes again. And it's almost, you get the sense that she revels in this. Now, I may be talking absolute baloney there.
No, you're
but
not.
The consistency of the patterns are there for all to see. So
and have you noticed that she never interrupts Harry's time, positive or negative? Who went quiet, quiet, quiet during the promotion of Spare? Meghan was nowhere to be seen when Harry was doing his media tour to promote his book, which was actually kind of humiliating based on the amount that he talked about his Todger. Who went quiet, quiet, quiet? Who was silenced when the Senabale fallout was taking place, and every headline was accusing her of being a bully that upset Dr. Sophie Shandaka, Meghan Markle. So she does go away every once in a while and shut the heck up, but she seems to poke her little head out whenever William and Catherine have anything positive to promote.
And that is the most irritating thing about this, because obviously next week her program drops. Oh my goodness me, we got so much to look forward to next week. And then
like diarrhea.
Then it's the carol service at the end of the week. So that will attract all the headlines. And we've got to watch it and we can make up for ourselves. And I can't understand why it's not out this week. Because isn't it? Well, it's Thanksgiving week, and your country is gearing up to stuff the turkey.
Right, for the first of a month-long celebration where you do get friends and family together, and you do host. I mean, why wouldn't you release it on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, so you could get some last-minute tips from Meghan about how to host for the holidays?
Well, is it? I mean, unless I've got it wrong. Isn't Thanksgiving almost the one where families come together, and Christmas has a different vibe?
Well, I think both, but I think you're more concerned about hosting on Thanksgiving. You have a lot, you might have more responsibility on Thanksgiving, where Christmas, it's like you're overwhelmed with gifts, you're overwhelmed with events, whereas Thanksgiving is everyone comes into a home and sits down around a table, where on Christmas you might be going to church 2 times that day. You might be going to other people's homes. You might be, you got to do the gift exchanges. So yes.
Catherine is hands-on and visible, Meghan's self-serve pancake idea and honey-drizzled turkey shots come across as a lazy attempt to seem relatable, when in reality, they only reinforce a narrative of self-centered branding. Harry and Meghan are media strategists. William and Catherine are public servants. The former seeks attention and relevance through controversy and spectacle. The latter earns respect and affection through steady, genuine engagement.
There's a different vibe to Christmas Day in the States, but Thanksgiving is the immediate family. You get together and you're traveling, what is it? Wednesday in America is a sort of nightmare travel day where, there can be all heck breaking out in the rest of the world. But my goodness me, every airport is overrun with people hurrying to get home, which we all know is an absolute nightmare. And people want to get home. So I would have thought it should be out now, because people are preparing to stuff the turkey, presumably on Wednesday, and do whatever they've got to do, whatever they've got to do to whatever you accompany it with. Everyone might have different ideas. So I don't understand why it's a week later. December the 3rd seems a really strange day.
No, we know why.
Sort of
It's the first week of December, which is when Catherine normally does her Christmas Carol concert. It's intentional, in my opinion. Meghan is trying to disrupt the hard, real working royals. I didn't put this in the rundown, so I apologize if I'm springing something on you. But Meghan did release a video on Instagram, again, trying to tease her genius when it comes to hosting, and she talks about setting up different stations around your house so people can self-serve. Meghan's just so lazy. Can you not put together a freaking waffle for your guests? But Gwyneth Paltrow would. But she's putting together this station for a breakfast station, and of course she's got all of her gross jam and everything out there, and she keeps saying to people like, and if you don't want to make the pancakes, you can buy the store-bought pancakes. You can buy the freezer pancakes. And it's like this, it's like the one thing she's saying to try to sound relatable to a normal person. Like, if you don't have time to make pancakes, you can buy the kind for the freezer. But it just sounds so ludicrous coming from her, especially after that Harper's Bazaar article where we now know she insists on being called a Duchess.
Yeah. And how much of a cook is she?
Yeah.
I mean, seeing that turkey being drizzled in honey. Look, I love cooking the turkey. I got an absolute rollicking from my family 2 years ago because I overcooked it. I thought it was fantastic, but
was it Christmas Vacation style where when you stuck the knife in, it deflated and everybody eated?
No, well, I thought I'd cooked an absolutely beautifully moist turkey for the assembled multitude in my house. But the harumphing from my son, my wife, that I turned it into cardboard was deeply distressing. But I'm going to have another go this year. I won't be looking at Meghan's recipes of how to cook a turkey. But it's all about the basting. And that means getting the turkey out and doing it. I'm not sure we've ever seen, well, maybe we will in this holiday program, seeing her pull out the turkey and baste it properly and getting whatever you do to do it.
We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, look, I'm no cook.
The countdown is on. Talk to me about Meghan Markle's Harper's Bazaar cover and story. What were your takeaways? And did you notice any similarities between her pictures and Princess Diana's for our poor Vanity Fair?
Well, I got sent a very funny email from a friend who watches the program in Australia. And thank you, Chris. She will be delighted to get a mention of the picture of Meghan wearing something, and then next to us a picture of Columbo. With his Mac, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. What are my takeaways? Incredibly ordinary and dull, the pictures, but more importantly, with that article, the Meghan Duchess of Sussex is just crass. Normally, now back in the day, what happened was if you're going to somebody's house, you get announced to the guest, the host. So, back in the day, you'd be announced, it would come through and say whoever it is, the Duke and Duchess of La-di-da, to the King and Queen. They would be announced. You don't get announced when you walk into the room and it's one person. I mean, how up your backside are you to do that? And there's no other way to describe it, because it is wrong. because that person, it's like, next time if we meet, is when we meet in that pub again, whenever we do, you walk in because obviously you're the queen of California. I expect the producers to announce to Rupert, here arrives Miss Kinsey Schofield, right? Okay. And I've
No.
got to go, okay.
I would never have the audacity.
But I mean, but isn't that the audacity in a house? And it seems like where they were going, it was sort of contrived as well, very set up going to the restaurant. But the real takeaway was how she's saying she's never felt so loved. Did you ever say in the article?
You're ranked the -- disliked celebrity in the United States of America on ranker.com. Saying that no one loves you as much as Harry does that's not that hard of an accomplishment.
Why isn't she saying the other way around?
I love him.
Yeah, and see, was there any mention of, yes, I've never had, he's got my back. Well, what do you think of him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're it seems to be
we
one
know
way
Rupert, we know she doesn't have his back because when Senabale was exploding, guess who was quiet?
The two approaches clash, creating ongoing tension within the royal family and constant fodder for royal commentators like Kinsey Schofield and Robert Bell. And that's where we are, a royal tug-of-war between duty and drama, service and self-promotion, continuity and disruption. The media loves it, the public is divided, and the palace probably just wants everyone to chill. Meanwhile, we all get to sit back, sip our tea, and watch the saga unfold, preferably with a perfectly cooked turkey and a side of humor. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think.